Hey everyone, welcome to another episode of ChalkTalk. I'm your host, Colton Thomas. Week 3 is done. We had some exciting games. We'll go through and review each game, as well as look at UTFL standings, prediction scorecards. Heading into Week 4, we'll look at those matchups, predictions, buy and sell, as well as top plays. So let's get into Game 1, Week 3. Ducks barely winning this one, 14-6 over the Outcast. A lot closer than most expected. Ducks had 59 yards of passing offense, as well as 65 rushing offense, with 2 touchdowns. Outcast had 81 yards, 1 passing touchdown, with 12 yards rushing. Defensively, Ducks had 8 sacks and 2 caused turnovers. Outcast got 2 sacks with 2 turnovers. Game 2, Spartans versus Sports Rally. A little bit of a rivalry here. Both teams have played each other a lot. But I believe Spartans have the victory margin here over Sports Rally. Can Sports Rally get a victory? Let's take a look. Spartans winning this one 12-6, another close game this week. Spartans had 145 passing offensive with 2 touchdowns and -1 yard offensively rushing. Sports Rally had 123 yards through the air with 1 passing touchdown and 30 through the ground. They had 2 sacks and caused 1 turnover throughout the game, but still lost the game by 6, but kept it a lot closer than most expected as well. Game number 3, Reapers versus Space Force. Can the Reapers get the first win of the season, and can Space Force keep from having a complete meltdown? Let's take a look. Space Force blowing out the Reapers 36-0. Reapers only had 37 yards passing and -9 yards rushing. Space Force had 161 yards through the air with 3 passing touchdowns. They had 53 rushing yards with 1 rushing touchdown. Defensively, Space Force caused 5.5 sacks, 1 turnover, and 1 defensive touchdown. Game number 4, Battle of the Beatons. Somebody's going home a victor. Will it be the Voodoos or will it be the Wolves? Let's find out. The Wolves capturing their first victory of the season, 26-0 over the Voodoos. The Voodoos only getting 14 passing yardage and 1 rushing yard. But defensively, they had 4 sacks and 2 turnovers. Wolves, on the other hand, had 138 yards through the air, 4 touchdowns, as well as 9 rushing yards. Defensively, they had 4.5 sacks and 4 caused turnovers. Now that all the games have been reviewed for this week, let's take a look at the UTFL standing and see where each team is. Top 2 spots still haven't moved. Ducks at 1, Spartans at 2. Space Force at 3, moving up 1 spot. Outcast at 4, moving down 1 spot. Legends didn't play a game, benefited them, moved up 1 spot. Sports Rally, losing a game, dropped 1 spot. Wolves, winning a game, moved up a spot. Voodoo, dropping down 1 spot. And the Reapers at the bottom. Let's head on over to our prediction scorecards with me, John Jadden, and Candy Reed. Each one of us went 4 for 4 this week on picks. Week scores, ChalkTalk was 75 points away from the total, John Jadden was 62, and Candy Reed was 66. After 3 weeks overall, ChalkTalk has 10 correct picks, John Jadden has 12, and Candy Reed has 11. Scores so far, ChalkTalk 187, John Jadden was 184, and Candy Reed's at 200. Now that we've looked at the prediction scorecards, let's go to buy and sell of the UTFL stock market. Teams I'm looking to buy after week 3, Sports Rally and Outcast. Both teams lost this last week, but both teams put up a good fight against teams 1 and 2 in the standings. Sports Valley plays the Reapers this next week, and the Outcasts play the Spartans. Teams I'm keeping an eye on, Ducks and Space Force. Ducks did not have a great performance last week against the Outcasts, and they're going up a tougher team this week against the Legends, finally being tested for the season. Let's see how they perform. The other team I'm keeping an eye on is Space Force, finally putting things together and getting a dominating win against the Reapers, blowing them out 0-36. If they can keep this going, they could finish in top 3. Next week's game is versus the Voodoos. Teams I am looking to sell after week 3. Reapers and Spartans. Reapers, I thought had an uptrending skill set, but they've just gone downhill since week 2. Spartans, on the other hand, had a great showing week 1 against the Legends, but did not have great performances against their last 2 opponents, only winning by a touchdown each game. Reapers' week 4 opponents is Sports Rally, and Spartans' week 4 opponent is the Outcast. Buy and sell, UTFL stock market goes up and down constantly, very volatile, kind of like cryptocurrency. Anyways, heading over to week 4 matchups, let's take a look. Game number 1, we have Legends versus the Ducks at 9 a.m. Space Force Voodoos, 10:30. Sports Rally Reapers, 12. Outcast Spartans, 1:30. With our matchups finally in the past, let's look to the forward and predict each game with me, John Jadden, and Candy Reed. To the future. Game number 1, Legends Ducks. ChalkTalk has the Ducks winning this one 30-0, bouncing back from last week's game. John Jadden also has the Ducks winning this one 31-12. Candy Reed picking the Ducks 20-14. Game number 2, Space Force Voodoos. ChalkTalk has Space Force winning this one 38-0. John Jadden as well has Space Force winning this one 28-0. And Candy Reed, Space Force winning this one 30-7. Heading on over to game number 3, Sports Rally versus the Reapers. ChalkTalk has Sports Rally winning this one 22-0. John Jadden has Sports Rally winning this one 21-0. And Candy Reed has Sports Rally winning this one 21-8. Final game of the week, Outcast versus the Spartans. ChalkTalk has Spartans winning this one 16-6. John Jadden has Spartans winning this one as well 21-18. And Candy Reed has the Spartans winning this one in a close one, 14-12. With predictions out of the way, we roll on over to top plays. Check them out. Well, that about does it for this week's episode of Chalk Talk. I hope you've enjoyed it as much as I have. If you have, please give me a like. If you don't like what I've talked about, comment below. If you like what I've commented about, comment below. I'll see you guys next week. I'm your host, Colton Thomas.